Hello and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. We are talking about PERM and the requirements, and we did several videos on the the recruitment requirements, but then the issue comes up, what are you supposed to actually put in the ad itself? Do you list every single item? Do you make it real general? What are you supposed to do? So the ad is no longer required to enumerate every single job duty, job requirement, and condition of employment, and it doesn't require lengthy, detailed advertisements as used to be the case. You're not required, you being the employer, not required to include the street address, and you can send resumes to the post office box. The final rule on regulations also eliminates the requirement that the wage offer be included in the advertisement, although if you are going to include it, and it can be a range, but the bottom range is not less than the prevailing wage. And then you have to keep in mind that where you place the ad and so forth, you can't bury the ad by putting it in an inappropriate heading or an inappropriate job title that would never be found. Then it'll be denied because you're not making a good faith effort to find a qualified U.S. worker. So given that in mind, you are required to put in the ad the name of the employer, where the applicants are to send their resumes, and you need to provide a description of the vacancy specific enough to apprise what kind of job opportunity it is. You need to indicate the geographic area of the employment with enough specificity as to apprise the applicants of travel requirements or where they may have to reside. You can't put a wage in there lower than the prevailing wage, and it cannot contain any job requirements which exceed the job requirements or duties listed on the ETA 9089, which is the PERM form that will be submitted to Department of Labor, and it cannot contain wages or terms of conditions that are less favorable than those offered to the foreign national. And keep in mind that failure to contain every single one of those items I just went over is fatal to the whole PERM application. And you could go through the whole PERM process, do all the recruitment, spend all the money doing everything, and ultimately it would be denied if you don't put what's necessary in the advertisements itself. So you have to keep that in mind, that unlike other areas, it's very specific with PERM and labor certifications, and it does get to a point where you have to double check and recheck everything, make sure it's done right. So you want to make sure you get an attorney that knows what they're doing to help you along with this process. And then from there, if you put all the advertisements in with the correct wording, it shouldn't be denied on that basis alone, and you should be able to go forward. Okay, more on the coming.